Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from Eddie's World of Figures. Today, we're going to be reviewing not only one figure, but three today. You guys get a 3-for-1. Not only just any 3-for-1, we got Goku Mini, Goku in the Super Saiyan form, and the new Goku in his Super Saiyan 4 form. All three of these figures from the Daima series. If you're a fan, join me in this review because I'm very excited to review these three figures with you. So enough of that intro. Let's get on with this. Okay, so starting out, I have all three figure boxes laid out here. So on the left, we have the Son Goku Mini from the Daima series, of course, in his base form. Over here in the middle, we have the Son Goku Mini, also Daima, but in the Super Saiyan form. And over here on the far right, we have the brand new Son Goku Mini Daima, but Super Saiyan 4. Now, this isn't the GT. This is, again, Daima. So, just to let you guys know, as I always have in my videos, make sure that the figures that you're purchasing are the authentic SS Figuarts, or say SS Figuarts, but namely Tamashii Nations, because SS Figuarts is like a sub-brand within Tamashii Nations. But anyhow, at the bottom, you'll have the Dragon Ball Daima logo here. Same thing on this side, Dragon Ball Daima. Same thing for the Super Saiyan 4 Goku over here, Dragon Ball Daima. So the difference between these three boxes is, of course, the picture of the figure that's in the front. You have, of course, these two boxes over here, which actually were P Bandai releases. That's why you have the P Bandai logo here and here. And to make sure that this is a official, it's not a bootleg or anything like that, you have the Toy Animation seal sticker here, here, and here. Now, again, this one being silver is just saying that this is a US release. If you have a gold one, or I think it's like a silver with, I think, like the pink or purplish tag here. Yeah, I think that's European. But if you have that sticker, just know that your box is authentic, your figures is real deal. All right. So all these figures are made in the Chinese factory, as you can see at the bottom here. There's been, hearsay about which factory is the best as far as producing these figures with less QC issues. My opinion, I've seen so far, so I've been collecting, the Chinese factory has been pretty good so far. But let's turn these around, and so you can see the sides. Oh, before I do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited, guys. So you have the front window of each box displaying, pretty much the accessories of the figure. You have of course, the figure that sits in the package itself, like so. Matter of fact, let me put these guys here so you guys can kind of get an idea. Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, each one has a nice little window so they can see the accessories, faceplates, things like that. And before I forget to mention, you do have the Toy Animation. I'll say Toy Animation, Mike. Sorry about that. You have the Tamashii Nations quality seal sticker here. Now, they did change these. These are the newer seal stickers. The older ones are bigger and a little more rounded, and they're a little more reflective too. But all right, let's go and get these figures out the way. We'll get to those pretty soon. So I'm excited. I want to hurry and get to those, but let's get to the boxes real quick. On the side, real quick, you have your usual SS Figuarts in the Dragon Ball line. You have your open window from the side displaying the figure's name. You have the logos at the bottom displaying the name as well. We'll turn to the other side. And if you're an inbox collector, then these boxes are pretty good, as far as your inbox display. If you got them on the shelf, you can pretty much fix these wherever you like, whatever your preference is. Each one does have your typical 3 photos displaying the figure in action. You have Super Saiyan 4 Goku right here, Super Saiyan Goku and his base form. Pretty nice pictures. Going to switch these back around to the back. Got some really nice pictures in the back. I'm not gonna go too in depth because I do that pretty much every video. Since we're doing 3 figures, I don't want to spend too much time on one particular figure, but at the same time, what I want to do is I want to at least go in some good detail with you guys with the time that I'm spending with you. So the base Goku is pretty much your $35 release. Unfortunately, this guy over here should have been a $35 release, for what he came with, but he was also a P Bandai release. But he was a $35 figure as well. This guy over here, you guys see the back here, pre Bandai, but hefty price is $70. Pretty hefty, but he does come with an additional key blast that goes with the base Goku, and we'll show that off too later on in the video. But just to get a good look of the pictures on the back of the box here, good pictures. You have your typical legal stuff at the bottom, warning labels, things like that of that nature. Give you guys a quick look at the top. Just your usual open box, window here. At the bottom, if you want to display it like this, you're stacking them. Your usual pictures but in the Daima font. Like Daima, the Daima series does have like its own little theme here that you guys see going on with the purple and the yellow. I like this. I like the design. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. All right, guys. Moving on. All right, let's get on to the figures themselves. Now I got these figures back out here. I just want to go over the details real quick. So Daima, the show, is not like Z, GT, or even Super. So Daima takes more of a soft drawing type to it, but the colors and everything else is very vibrant. Everything has like a really soft feel to it. Say feel, but look to it. What you guys see here, even Goku's face is really soft and rounded. There's no sharp edges. It really gives off that really nice kid feel to him. And even in his Super Saiyan form, you guys can see here, still has that really nice, soft, like, look to it. Like, there's no jagged edges or anything like that. Still has that nice detail to it. I really like the way Akira Toriyama drew this show. Most people don't like the show, but I feel like this was a good send-off that Akira Toriyama left us. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, like I mentioned before in my previous videos. I appreciate this. My plan is to possibly get all the Daima figures, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Over here on the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I do appreciate how they kind of paid homage to the GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which I will definitely do a review on that guy later on because I actually have him in my collection. But I like the colors they chose, and I did watch every freaking episode in the Daima series. And I will say, this figure looks just like he did in his appearance in the show. Although it was only one episode, him in this mini form was immaculate. Like, it was amazing, the screen time. Now, if you noticed, the Super Saiyan 4 mini Goku is slightly bigger than his Super Saiyan counterpart in his base form. And it's because during the transformation, he did have like an exponential growth, not like along with the power up. So that's good they actually kept that. And yes, he does have, his tail, things like that. But it's really good. His fists are a little bit bigger. With the transformation, that was a different design, choice they went with the show. The pants, real soft. I'm gonna say soft, but the feel of the plastic's real good quality, especially be a P Bandai. Unfortunately, there isn't any shading on this guy. I would have liked to have a little bit more, especially if you're paying this premium for him. But I will add the paint, pretty much the sculpt. It's really nice. I will have to admit the face plates themselves are really clean, and this isn't even the faceplate that comes on the figure when you take them out of the package. Um, this is the one I put on with his little smirking face. He's ready to go. Just real nice. I don't see any paint bleeding, anything like that. Same thing on the Super Saiyan Goku. Real clean. The colors actually work really well for designs. Like they actually got the figure pretty much, I would say, one to one coming out of the show for what it is. My only gripe, and I'm just going to say this real quick, I don't feel like they should have put this on freaking the PBAMNet website and sold this for $35 compared to the base Goku when essentially it's pretty much the exact same body as you guys can see, exact same color, exact same gi, everything's the same. Even the power pole that's in the back that comes on the Super Saiyan Goku, it's all the same. They could have literally included the Super Saiyan hair in the Goku package, or just release Super Saiyan Goku and just say general release. Like it's weird choice they're doing now. But anyhow, that's enough of that. You guys can see I don't want to spend too much time on this. Again, there's three figures here. I want to at least do a little bit of justice and going through them all pretty good. But let's get on to the articulation for each of these guys, and then after that we'll get into the accessory because I want to show you guys what comes in each package for what you're paying, and you're going to be surprised. Yeah, let's get this set up and let's get into the articulation for these guys. Okay, guys, I am back and I've removed Goku's little power pole and just put his relic fist in. So in this part, we're just going to go over the articulation for all three figures and compare. Now, I pretty much going to tell you that the articulation for the Super Saiyan Goku is pretty much going to be the exact same for the base Goku since they're pretty much both using the exact same body. So I still will go over it just so I can show you guys in camera the differences, even though there's barely any. But anyhow, let's go on and see how well this little Goku here can raise his arms. Can he do a full T pose? Knocking over a little Goku back here. Here we go. All right. Yes, he can do a full T pose with his little smiling self. He's really happy. Let's see. Can he do a full rotation? Yes, he can. It's a little awkward because of the gi sleeve here, the yellow part. Well, sorry, yellow orange. Same thing on the right arm. He can rotate a full 360. Let's see if he can span his arm out. So, like he's going for a huge hug. Yes, he can. Although the articulation, like pretty much the joints and things like that, are pretty small, I will say the articulation is pretty good so far. Pretty good. So there is some bicep swivel here. You guys can see it does rotate in a full 360, like so. Same thing on the right arm, full 360. Elbow swivel. It's actually really good. Let's see, let me rotate his arm back correctly. If you're not careful, it just gets a little bit confusing the way the joint is designed. But once you work past that, you'll see some good results. Forearm going all the way back to the pretty much like the elbow swivel. It's pretty good. It could be better, but I guess that's about what you can do for this such a small figure here. Pretty good. Does have some wrist swivel here. You guys can see it does rotate. And I'll take the peg off so you guys can see. Really tiny. Get the joint in the camera angle here. It's so tiny, my camera's having trouble focusing on it. There we go. But yeah, very tiny. But you can actually swivel this around and rotate it and get it to whatever position that you want. All right, let's quickly move to the legs real quick. Whoops. All right. Not much leg movement with this skirt piece, and I will show that this Goku does come with a second skirt piece. Same thing with this Goku. Now I'll show that in a second what that's used for. Now this current skirt piece, well, gi top, I should say, the movement is limited, so you can't really do too much with this one, as you guys can see, as I'm trying to do, without stretching it, which you don't want to do. But His knee swivel is actually really good for this little guy. He can bring his calf all the way back to his thighs. You guys can see. Same thing on the left leg here, all the way back. His feet does have a nice swivel with it. Toes can come all the way down that far. Same thing for the left leg here. You guys can see. It's not the best, but it's pretty decent for what this guy's designed for. Toe swivel does come all the way in. It's a lot better than most figures I've reviewed so far. All the way in, yeah. Does it rotate in 360? Yes, it does. And it can also come side to side, in and out. Really good. So a lot of range opposability with this guy. Let's see if he can do some decent ab crunch. No, he can't. No, he can't. He can somewhat look up pretty good. Just looking down, it's just non-existent. Looking up, pretty good. Looking down, actually really good. He can pretty much just dig his chin into his little chest here, as you guys can see. But I'll demonstrate the Super Saiyan Goku real quick. Exact same thing, and you can actually remove his head, and you guys see that it's just a ball, pretty much a, I guess we'll call this a dumbbell joint. So you can remove the power pole there. And we'll put his head back on. Same thing. And again, this is the exact same body that's on the base Goku. Exact same body. And I was looking at this, I was like, is there any difference? It's very subtle, guys. Like, this gi has a slightly yellower hue to it compared to the base, but that's literally it. It's the exact same thing. And you can barely notice it on camera, but like the naked eye, it's very subtle. The fact they did that was, I hate to say it, very scummy. Very scummy to machinations for that. Anyhow, moving on. Got me choking up over here. All right. Super Saiyan 4. Can he do a full T pose? Yes, he can. Look at there. Actually, really good. Really good. Now his little hairpiece right here, it does not articulate, although it is soft plastic. It can somewhat kind of get out of the way when you're moving his head around, like as you guys see. It does have a bicep swivel. It does rotate in a full 360. Arms going that far. You guys can see his huge hands. Now the fist, and I've seen other people complain about this too. I'm complaining about it as well. This is kind of a stupid design. Whenever you're changing out the fist, it just sit like on a also the dumbbell peg here. You guys can see, but be careful with the wrist peg. The wrist peg. Let's see, wrist peg. The wrist band is just floating. So be mindful that it does become a pain when you're trying to put your other fists and stuff like hands back on. It does get annoying, I have to admit. Anyhow, the head can come up that far. You guys can see he look up that far. Looking down, pretty decent. He can dig his chin into his chest. Let's see. Back swivel. He can look up that far. Ab crunch. Actually, somewhat decent. Especially when he's doing his Kamehameha. Can he do a full 360 swivel? Yes, he can. And I'll go back to those and see if they can do it too. I forgot to do that. Let's see. Can he do a full splits? No, he can't. And his tail fell off. That's fine. I'll put it back in a second. Okay. Now they did implement some soft plastic here to kind of help with the articulation a little bit. So you do have some better range, I should say. Let's see, his knee joint does come in that far. You guys see his calf muscle does touch his inner thigh. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now his feet. This could have been designed a lot better. There's barely any freaking foot range going on down here, which is so weird. So freaking weird. Now, if you force it, of course, it's going to come off. Now, like, it only goes that hard. Like, $70 here. $70. All right. Now, his hair does have a little bit of articulation. Is these two joints right here. These do swivel a little bit, and you can get some extra range of, I guess neck range looking up that way. Let's put his tail back in. And yes, his foot does rotate in a full 360, and his toe only comes in that far. Same thing for the other foot, like that. All right. So, pretty decent articulation for such a tiny figure, especially Super Saiyan 4. Let's see if, yes, base Goku does rotate a full 360 easily. Same thing with the Super Saiyan. Right. All right, guys. Now that we got that out the way, let's get on to the accessories real quick. All right, so I got the clamshells out of the boxes, and I want to show the accessories real quick with you guys. So on the left, we have the base Goku. As you guys can see, he comes with 3 additional face plates, 6 additional hands, an extra skirt piece, and it's actually for whenever he's pretty much doing his attacks with the power pole, a windswept hair scope, and his power pole in, I think we call this a sheath, I think. Super Saiyan Goku in the middle here, also 3 additional face plates, 6 additional hands, also an additional skirt piece so that he's pretty much able to kick more and move around. It's more like like a movement skirt. Also another power pole in the sheath, and it's pretty much the exact same power pole in the sheet that's came with the base Goku. And over here on the right, we have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku that comes with 4 additional faceplates, the 2, I guess, bonus parts that goes for either it can go with Super Saiyan Goku, and it can also work with the base Goku over here. You have the Kamehameha effect, but it's in 2 sections. You have the fire part that's actually attached to the hand right here. You have actually a good amount of hands here. I'm counting. Ooh, it's actually 8 additional hands here. Wow. Anyhow, you have the, which is weird. This is my first time even seeing like a little base support like this before, but a little base support that goes with the little Kamehameha effect. So, a little extra, what I want to do is I want to swap some parts around and see what works with what real quick. So just give me a second. I'm going to get that set up and I'll be right back. So I know it looks a little crazy on the table right now, but right now I just want to see what parts, like right now I want to do head swaps, see what heads fits on what. I'm very certain because these 2 body parts are pretty much the exact same, especially the neck peg and things like that. You can interchange these head sculpts out. So just to let you guys know, I have the base Goku body over here with his alternate skirt, and I have the Super Saiyan body right here, and of course Super Saiyan 4 on the far right. So let's see if Super Saiyan works on the base Goku. Yes, it does. As I mentioned before, exact same body. Why couldn't they just put this head scope in the current base Goku pack? I have no idea. Money. Money. Anyhow, let's see if the base Goku head fits on Super Saiyan body. Yes, it does. Clicks in. It's actually really tight. Makes me wonder if the clearance on this current neck peg is slightly different. Let's see. Let's check that out real quick. About the same. All right. About the same. Whoops. Fix that in a second. That on. Yeah. I want to see if this guy's head swaps on any of these bodies. Put that there. Let's see. Probably not. I am noticing over there that the neck peg does not fit. And let me remove his hair piece right here. And it just removes like such. Pretty simple. 2 pegs goes into the hole slot. And it just pegs in that way. Pretty cool design. Move the face plate so you guys can see. And as you guys see right here, that's what I was talking about. Like, this doesn't articulate at all. It's just a rubber piece. And let's see here. It does look really creepy, but yeah, it does not fit. That peg is too small. Yep. Let's see if it fits on Super Saiyan body. No, it doesn't. All right. Well, that solved that case. But can I fit the Super Saiyan head on this? That'd be cool. No, I mean, excuse me, you can, but you would have to heat this guy up and you would more likely ruin the head sculpt. But wouldn't that look cool? Be a whole new design. You've seen it first here. Eddie's World of Figures. That'd be pretty cool. All right, guys. Going to put this back on. All right. Set to the side for now. All right. So this back on. So what I want to do is I want to see if, and I know this will more likely work with both figures. So they're, again, pretty much the same. These Key Blast spec fits. Let's see. This thing's fighting me. Pretty tight. Try not to pinch it. There we Nope, still not there. All right, guys, 1 second. Oh, nope. All right, 1 second, guys. Let me do this off camera. Okay, back once again after a few seconds of fighting these guys, getting their hands on. But yeah, as you guys can see, you can use these effect parts on either Super Saiyan Goku or base Goku. And I've changed his face so he's a little bit more serious. But yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see here. Can I change the faceplate with Super Saiyan Goku? I'm trying not to spend too much time here, guys. But at the same time, I'm trying to show a little bit, as much as I can. So Super Saiyan Goku and the base faceplate seem to have the same peg design. So let's see if I can put, just for shits and giggles, see if that fits in. Let's see. Well, it fits. Sorta does have a gap, so I wouldn't force it. Let's see. Make sure. Yeah, it's not going to fit. I see what's going on. All right. A little peg at the bottom there. Yeah, no, it doesn't fit. All right, that would have been cool, though. Let's see if the Super Saiyan head fits the base plate. It does, has a little gap, but it doesn't fit all the way. Let's see if the Super Saiyan hair keeps it in place. No, it does not. No, it does not. And reason that being because of like the little piece there. All right. Oh, it's completely flat at the top. Okay, I see. All right. Well, you cannot swap the faceplates out. You've seen it here as well, Eddie's World of Figures. You cannot. Learning together, guys. Learning together. So I'd be experimenting in here with these things. All right. All right. Moving on. I do want to show off the Kamehameha effect with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because that was pretty much like the whole reason I even bought this thing. But be right back. All right. After fighting this thing for quite some time, I've got him somewhat set up here in his Kamehameha. So I will point out, the clear plastic base right here was a bit of a pain trying to put it into the Kamehameha effect. I would advise just putting the Kamehameha effect in like some warm water. It doesn't have to be boiling hot, just to soften up the little peg hole at the bottom there. Because if you're trying to put this thing in there, it is pretty hard. You're at risk of snapping that little thing. And it's like, good luck on getting a replacement, because Bandai be tripping, and then you're at the whim of scalpers. Like, yeah, $30 for this little plastic piece here. But other than that, the detail with this thing is pretty cool. They actually painted it, as you guys can see. There's some white shading going on. It's not just a blue clear plastic. There's also on the fire effect. It's painted as well, as you guys can see. Be careful when trying to peg this in. Like I had so much trouble, especially with these freaking wristbands I was telling you about. These constantly fall in and get in the way. But these little tips here, the flame, pretty pointy, so be careful. They will puncture you. Same thing with the Kamehameha effect. Just be careful when you're trying to work with this thing. But other than that, you know, really cool. I actually might put this guy in my display cabinet like this. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I just want to show that off real quick. Fighting this thing. But yeah, all right. Moving on to pretty much my final thoughts of this whole thing. So I'm gonna get everything set back up. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is pretty much my final thoughts on these three figures here. So on the left here, base Goku, pretty good figure for the price that he was set at. Although he should be a lot cheaper, and I have seen him go for at least 25 or less. That's been on sale. $35, pretty steep for the amount of accessory this guy comes with. But as far as design to anime, really good. The articulation is really good, and I knocked him over. But yeah, articulation is pretty good for this little guy. They really outdid themselves for how small this guy is. Yet they didn't cut any corners when it came to uh, articulation and mobility, and I do appreciate that. Now, over in the middle, because this guy pretty much follows the same design as the base Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, they could have just put the Super Saiyan head scope and faceplates with the base Goku. Charged us 40, $50. They're just additional, faceplates. That's it. Could have kept the hands, all the same hands, all that. I don't know why they did that. But same body, articulation still falls the same. Everything about this figure is really good. Excuse me, no real complaints except the price. $35 for this, that's asking a lot, especially compared to the general release. Like this shouldn't have been a P Bandai. And on top of that, because it's P Bandai, you're gonna see scalpers online who are gonna try to get double what this guy is worth. So you're looking at almost $70, sometimes even more. That's insane. He doesn't really come with anything. My advice, if you're able to pick this guy up for a decent price, almost close to what it was on P Bandai, and I know that's hard, I say go for it. But paying $70 for this, that's not worth it in my opinion. You can always just get some custom head scopes from a third party and just slap it on this base Goku, call it a day. But that's just my opinion. End of the day, it's you guys this money, you do what you can afford and what you like with your collection. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Over here on the right, of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku was a $70 P Bandai pre-order earlier this year. And it's a good Christmas present to myself because it's the end of the year, holiday 2025. We're going into 2026. The time we're recording this, $70 even for this still pretty steep. Although they try to justify it with including the Kamehameha effect, with the flame effect and all that stuff. It's real nice. It's fancy. Yeah, but it does not justify the $70 price tag plus the $10 shipping that Premium Bandai adds on there and tax. So you look at it like, almost $90 after it's done. That's a lot for this little guy. That's asking a lot. It looks nice. Articulation is real good for how small he is. The design is real nice. I can't complain about that. Although they could have done a lot better with the wristbands here. These cause problems when you're trying to put the hands and other accessories on. But if you can find this guy in the wild for close to what he was when he came out P Bandai, because I paid MSRP. I pre-ordered them because I am trying to collect all the Daima figures. But the way this line is going, where the price is going, I'm not sure if I'm going to follow through with that. I'm not sure. Y'all stay tuned for that. But if you're able to find this guy for a really decent price, and it's again within your budget, I say go for him. It's a beautiful figure. Again, it matches the anime really well. Comes with this nice effect, and it comes with these bonus effect parts. Although they could have just included it with either the base Goku or the Super Saiyan Goku, that would have been nice. But that's the machinations for you. That's the machinations for you. But all right, guys, that's enough of that. I appreciate you guys always listening to me ramble. You know, if you watched all the way through to the end of this video, I appreciate you for watching all the way through. Also, please like the video. It does help with YouTube's algorithm and getting the video out there. Also, please be sure to comment. Let me know your opinions on this stuff. I'd like to hear it. If there's a certain figure that you've seen come out you'd like me to review, or there's something you've seen in like my previous videos that you would like to touch on, let me know in the comments. I like the engagement. So since the end of the year, this is the final video from me for 2025, and I will see you guys into 2026. Y'all take care. Until then, see you then.